You are not alone when you think about quitting. Everyone feels that. Understand that what lies beneath your feelings of quitting is a fact. The fact is, you only feel that way. You don't have to. The fact is, if you will get up and try again, you will find that you have a reserve tank that you haven't tapped into. But the only way to do so is to get empty. Reserve tanks aren't there for when you're full. They're there when you're feeling empty.
I realized that it really is choices. Our choices determine whether we become losers or winners, not our circumstances. I'm going to say that again. My circumstances should have set me up to be a loser, but my choices made me a winner.
Success is the only revenge. As you expand, they shrink into irrelevance. As you get louder, no one can hear them. You don't beat them, you cast a shadow so big, no one can see them to begin with.
Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from them.
If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was fucking horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places. If you develop your gifts, you have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, if you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without.
You will always find what you look for, period. And if this is true, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a reason to continue pushing through the hard times, a reason to pick yourself up out of the dirt, out of the dark? Or are you looking for a reason to justify quitting? This ability to find what we look for, this is the human condition. This is our superpower. Our ability to find hope when there seems to be none.
And when you feel empty, rely on the fact that you've overcome things in the past. Remember your resume. Remember every win that you've ever had. Remember every time you've overcome every obstacle. Remember that you have a name of victory behind you. That name of victory is your history.
So the question is, who should you defeat in the final analysis? And the answer is, you should defeat your former self. You should be constantly trying to do that. Could you be slightly better tomorrow than your currently flawed self? And you might say, well, what's the right way of being in the world, if there is such a thing? And it's not acting according to a set of rules. It's attempting continually to transcend the flawed thing that you currently are. And what's so interesting about that is that the meaning in life is to be found in that pursuit.
You have to lose your fear of failure. Failure is a part of the process.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings.
There's a voice that guides you through life. But sometimes it's guiding you in a direction that you don't want to go. That's usually the right place to go.
Don't go around telling people what your story is. Everybody has a story. 80% don't care and 20% glad it's you. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it?
Life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself.
If I'm a man of my word and I make a promise and I keep it, that means I commit to the things and to the people that I've committed to. But beyond that, I keep my promises to myself as well. Remember, your reputation is not just what others perceive of you. Your reputation with yourself is also known as your confidence.
Every time you were counted out, you stood up. You may not believe it, but you must. Look in the mirror and remind that person that you are a victor, you're not a victim. You are someone who can overcome a situation. And every time that you have feelings that feel like they are overwhelming, you must remind them that there's a fact, that you are not alone. Let the world see who you really are.
You say to yourself every day, it's possible. You say that every day to yourself, it's possible.
And if you ask yourself the question, what am I looking for? And the answer is you're looking for a reason to stay down, you will always find it.
As you look toward the future, if you decided, I'm not going to allow my fears to stop me, what would your life be like? What would your future be like if you decided to want that which you desire so strongly that it prepares you past your fears? Feel the fear and do it anyway. And I'm saying to you that all of us who have been entombed by fear have the capacity to resurrect ourselves.
We all live in this bubble. What you gotta do to get the life that God wants you to have, you gotta put more air in your bubble. You got to blow your bubble up. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone.
Engage. Engage. Weakness is strong. I must be stronger. I must crush it into submission through force of will.